Hello you, it's me. Feels like ages since I've actually sat down in front of a camera and filmed anything. Must be like, what, a week and a half, but it feels like a month and a half. Today I'm going to talk about Sliver by Ira Levin. First off, I'm pretty dumb because I thought Ira Levin was a woman. But up until a couple of weeks ago, I also thought Evelyn Woe was a woman, so yikes to me. I'm not going to hold this up for the whole video because it literally is just a blue rectangle because there's no dust cover to it. I could easily just put a real blue rectangle here. So, just my face for this one, I think. This is a thriller about a guy who owns an apartment complex in a big city and has bribed city officials, planning commissions, to let him install CCTV all the way through the building. He vets the tenants so he gets the people he wants to move into his complex and watches them from his lair. A woman, the main character, moves in. She finds out, he confesses to his voyeurism, and she's forced to make some really difficult choices when she finds out that he's done some really unsavory things to stop his hobby getting out in the news and to the public. There's going to be some spoilers in this review because this book made me a bit cross, and I kind of want to talk about some ways in which I thought it was really dumb. Going into this novel, I thought it would be a novel about a murderer whose voyeurism is what gets him caught, but it's less a murder thriller and more a novel with a message about addiction and the appeal of voyeurism and the question of, is it okay to do things to people if they don't know they're happening anyway? It's about the invasion of privacy, about hypocrisy, and about the danger of letting people you love justify their addictions to you in a way that makes them seem appealing. So aside from the main characters not being developed at all, which they absolutely were not, one of the issues I had with this book was the absolutely huge cast of background characters that appeared for like half a chapter each, and these seem to be characters that the main character spoke to just so they could be used as a plot device for the author to make the main character do something. Somebody to explain something about the building, somebody for a setup, somebody for her to call on the phone so it would make sense in one of the scenes. Also, there is a repairman that works in the building that has quite a questionably, probably a bit racist accent, so I'm not sure that was entirely cool of the author. But the character development really didn't feel like an oversight, it almost felt like a deliberate mess. And it ties into the really unrealistic behaviour of a lot of the characters, which made the book feel really cringy. On a side note with character development, before the voyeur is revealed, quite early on in the book, there are segments from the point of view of the voyeur, and there's no pronouns used at all, which made me feel like it was a plot device to try and trick me into thinking it was somebody else. And if it had carried on for a while, if it had been like that, and then bam, it's this guy, not the one you thought, I thought it could have been a really interesting thing for the author to do. But it was kind of dropped like 30 pages in and never done again. And I feel like that was a big missed opportunity. So the main character is an editor, and she is constantly referring to the fact that she edits thrillers and crime and would know the warning signs if she saw them. It takes her way too long to even question the things that are happening, and she's too forgiving and overlooking of these horrible qualities in a guy she met like a few days before, who literally comes out and tells her, I've been watching you on the cameras, I have used watching you on the cameras to construct a personality in myself that you will like. So it's all fake, and she knows this, and she's still telling her friends, oh, he's such an amazing guy, he's so perceptive, he likes all the same things that I like, and of course he does, and he's told you why. And she just cannot or will not accept this. Maybe he's just that hot, I don't know. Also, it's like 100 degrees here, so I feel like I'm going to be getting shinier and shinier as this video goes on. So she knows from the off that the building she's moving into has had multiple mysterious deaths. She finds out the guy that she's seeing owns the building, has filled the building with cameras and cameras and cameras, and her instant thought isn't, this is the murderer, I am not safe, maybe. And it's not even like she has the thought and then there's denial because of her relationship with this man. She just doesn't have the thought until way down the line. She's not portrayed as a dumb character, but the fact that she doesn't pick up on any of this at all makes me think that maybe she's not that smart. The romance itself between the two main characters was so disgustingly cringy to read. There were so many exchanges like, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. And heart eyes and giggling, and it was just disgusting. And it felt like bad things happened. She started to take steps towards having semi-sensible thoughts, and then like, bam! Snogging in the shower, touching each other's faces, calling each other honey bunch, and blah blah blah. And this is all happening after she finds out about his voyeurism, and the fact that he probably only likes her because she looks like his dead mum. Yeah. So we're nearly at the end of the review, and I want to talk about the dumbest thing in the book, which was funny, and if it had been in a comedy book, it would have been great. It was the Deus Ex Machina being the cat. So they're in a bathroom at the end, high up in this building. She's hanging off a ledge by her fingertips, and then her cat decides to go into like full superhero mode. And the cat's like, my mother is in mortal peril, and launches itself at this guy's face. And this is a cat, not a dog, and I'm pretty sure no cat would ever do this. There's noise, chaos, smashing glass, and the cat decides to cannonball through the middle of this, correctly having identified this one man as a threat to her owner, and yeet herself at this guy's head. And not only that, this cat manages to hang on to this guy's face just long enough to claw out both of his eyes. Like this cat has some kind of sense of poetic justice. By the end of the book, when I was reading this scene, I was like, come on, come on. Would this have been better if it was a slow burn? With more emphasis on detail of key elements of the plot being revealed a bit later on? More relationship construction, more emotional investment, which would lead to the kind of denial that the main character does. And more questioning of whether to be loyal to the person you care about or do what is morally and socially right. Probably. I think maybe this book was just too short to do the things it wanted to do. This was the second time I've tried to read this book. The first was a couple of years ago. That's how long it's been sitting on my TBR. First time I really couldn't get into it, and this time I could. I felt like I just breezed through it. I didn't need to use a lot of brain power with this book. And I wasn't a huge fan, but at least I didn't like waste a month of my life trying to slog through it. I initially really didn't think it was too bad, and then it was sort of retrospectively when I was looking back and I'm like, X, Y, and Z about this book were just actually kind of dumb. The only bit where I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, was sort of the dual reason why the book is called Sliver. And it felt like Ira Levin had this idea for the title and its dual meaning and kind of built the rest of the book around that. So, 2 stars, maybe even 1 star, 1.5 stars, 1.5 stars. No strong feelings, one way or the other. I will not read it again. Don't feel like it was too much of a waste of my time, but it really wasn't that good, and I wouldn't really recommend it. So thanks for watching this review. There's more coming. I know I haven't filmed in a while, but I'm filming a couple of videos today, which I will schedule over the next few weeks. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I will put my Twitter link in the description of this video. Make sure you follow me on there, if you're a booktuber especially, so I can tag people in booktube tags that I do. So that's it. Again, thank you very much. Hope you have a good day.